I would like to note that this is the first time in the last 3 decades that we have conducted such large-scale military exercises at sea. They will be held simultaneously in the waters of the Pacific and Arctic Oceans, the Mediterranean, Caspian and Baltic Seas. They involve the forces of the Navy, long-range and military transport aviation units, ships and aircraft of the People's Liberation Army of China are also participating in the practical exercises, and representatives of 15 countries have been invited as observers. The goal of the exercise is to thoroughly test the key aspects of the combat readiness of the command and control bodies, units and formations of the Navy and Air Force, and to determine the coherence of their actions. The issues of the integrated use of high-precision weapons, as well as other modern and promising types of weapons, will be worked out, including taking into account the experience gained during a special military operation. We pay special attention to strengthening military cooperation with friendly states. Today, in the context of growing geopolitical tensions in the world, this cooperation is especially important. We see that the United States of America is trying to maintain its global military and political dominance at any cost. And for this purpose, using Ukraine, they are trying to inflict a strategic defeat on our country under the pretext of countering the allegedly existing Russian threat and containing the People's Republic of China. The United States and its satellites are increasing their military presence near Russia's western borders, in the Arctic, and in the Asia-Pacific region. The United States and its allies are openly declaring their plans to deploy medium and shorter-range missiles in so-called frontline zones. They are considering the territories of islands in the western Pacific Ocean, as well as in some countries of the Asia-Pacific region, as priority areas for their deployment. At the same time, the American armed forces are already practicing the transfer and deployment of advanced missile systems in the Asia-Pacific region. With their aggressive actions, the United States seeks to achieve a tangible military advantage, thereby breaking the existing security architecture and balance of power in the Asia-Pacific region. In fact, the United States is provoking an arms race, disregarding the security of its European and Asian allies. They are creating the preconditions for a dangerous crisis situation in Europe and the Asia-Pacific region. I want to emphasize that Russia must be prepared for any development of the situation, and our armed forces must ensure reliable protection of the sovereignty and national interests of Russia, repel possible military aggression in any direction, including in the ocean and sea zone. The Navy plays a key role in solving this problem. Our sailors have always courageously stood guard over the security of the motherland. Today, during a special military operation, they are selflessly fighting in the hottest spots on the line of combat contact. They are inflicting crushing blows on the enemy. They are effectively destroying its military facilities and infrastructure. They act bravely and professionally. They are real heroes. I want to emphasize that we will continue to strengthen our Navy, including its strategic nuclear component. We will systematically and comprehensively develop all types and branches of the armed forces, increase their strike capabilities, improve the training of ship crews, coastal and air units taking into account real combat experience, do everything necessary to reliably protect Russia and our citizens, to maintain strategic stability and the balance of power in the world. I wish the participants in the military exercises a successful solution to the task set. Good luck. I ask the Minister of Defense to report on readiness in accordance with the Armed Forces training plan. From 9 o'clock in the morning we began conducting the Strategic Command and Staff Exercise Ocean 20-24. It is planned to practice the tasks of repelling large-scale aggression of a potential enemy from ocean directions, combating unmanned boats, unmanned aerial vehicles, defending the bases of the Navy, conducting amphibious operations and escorting transports taking into account the experience of a special military operation. In accordance with the concept of the military exercise, a promising form of using the Navy, an independent operation in the ocean area, will be tested. Military command bodies have occupied command posts and are refining plans for using the fleets. Forces and troops have been withdrawn to designated areas and are ready for practical actions. The head of the military exercise, Commander-in-Chief of the Navy, Admiral Alexander Alexeyevich Moiseyev, will report on the development of the situation and the procedure for conducting the military exercise. The report is finished. Thank you, Alexander Alexeyevich, you have the floor. Comrade Supreme Commander-in-Chief, the Navy, part of the aerospace forces, with the participation of foreign partners, have begun practicing the tasks of the Strategic Command and Staff exercise. The military exercises are held for 7 days in a bilateral format, in 2 stages, with the designation of the opposing sides, the Pacific, Baltic fleets and the Caspian flotilla, which stand for our forces, and the Northern Fleet stands on the enemy's side. This military exercise involves more than 90,000 servicemen, over 400 ships and vessels, 125 aircraft, more than 7,500 units of weapons and equipment, including 3 ships, 1 vessel, 15 aircraft from the People's Liberation Army of China. Practical actions are being worked out in the waters of 13 sea areas in 3 strategic directions.